to the Joystick Show, episode 253. Listen, if you watch episode 254 or 255 and the three of us are wearing the same stuff and look exactly the same. Yep, we did it 100%. So that's...
I mean, we can show you guys. We're like next to the laundry room. We can
technically speaking, there is a laundry machine on the other side of this wall, but that's not the important thing. We're filming this on the same day as the episode that we did literally just now. We said it was going to be a short one, and then it was not a short one because it ended up being kind of fun. But regardless, welcome to the Joystick Show, episode 253. Mm-hmm. If you want to help us, go ahead and like the episode. Feel free to subscribe. Microphone stand. Can you stop fucking dipping down? And it's going to be a fun time. I don't know why my voice got really soft there.
Yeah, it got very nice. Nice voice.
Something I definitely wanted to bring up. I was like really excited to talk about this because I watched it today.
Okay.
I've kind of been a little... Like, it was one of the cooler things I've seen in a long time. So, earlier today, I talked about it in the group chat. I watched what is being called by a couple of people on the internet as being one of the greatest YouTube videos ever made. So, to give a little bit of context, or rather to give a bit of a precursor, I technically didn't watch the actual video. I watched Ludwig's reaction to the video. Okay. So the actual video is about 2.5 hours long. Wow. Ludwig's reaction was about an hour and a half. So I watched about, a good half of what the actual video is. But, he surmises a good portion of the best parts, so to speak. Now to set up the video. The video was a social experiment created by a YouTuber named Ish that takes place in a Minecraft world. So what they do is they bring in 1,000 players, and pretty much all they're told is that they are going to be put into a custom created Minecraft world. There are going to be 2 islands that are going to be sectioned off by a border that at one point in the future will be opened, allowing both of the islands to interconnect. 500 of the 1,000 players will go onto one while the other 500 go onto the other. And they are pretty much allowed to do whatever they want. There's no like challenges or objectives. It's just more so to study what they end up doing, right? But there are 3 catches, right? First and foremost, if you die, you die. Permadeath. If you're out of the experience, if your character dies, that's it. And on top of that, if you die, everyone can see how you died and who killed you. So there's kind of like a justice system, so to speak. On top of that, the islands are completely different. So before the applicants came into the experiment, or to the experience rather, they were asked what island they preferred, island 1, island 2, and that's all they were given. Island 1, for, lack of a better, or rather TLDR, is just a beautiful, luscious landscape, lots of resources. It's like heaven. Island 2 is a barren wasteland. There's one giant tree for the entire island. And if that's not enough, there's a giant volcano on the island that boils all of the water in and around the island. So if you try to swim, you'll burn to death. And if you need water, you got to build a bridge, or if you need wood, you got to build a bridge to the tree, get the wood like that. It's a whole thing. So it's like, it was very bad experience. So the whole spiel is like, how do these players interact with each other over the scale of a few days in this Minecraft world, right? In an interesting turn early on, there's a lot of like people who come out and they kind of assert or make themselves like leader people, like, hey, we're gonna build a civilization on this part of the island or whatever. So on island 1, there's already like 5 different nations, so to speak, and one of them is called the Commonwealth because it was made up of like 5 individual like smaller fucking communities that banded together to make their own nation. So it's a whole thing. And then on the other side, for the most part, there's like 3 nations, and then there's like a mafia which consists of like a guy and his like ragtag group of guys, so they need to bring him into for like the sake of allyship and all that stuff. All that to say, it gets fucking juicy. So there's a lot that I can pull from this whole thing, but I think one of the first things I wanted to mention is just how interesting of an experiment it is. They end up doing a lot of like actual governmental techniques and things that have happened in history in the span of a couple of days for the sake of surviving in this Minecraft world. So like out of paranoia, they basically start a NATO where they're like, we need to gather together so that if any one of us gets attacked, the rest of us can form a group and defend the one person.
Oh yeah, because at one point the island will.
Exactly.
Like that's a big meta part of it.
On top of that, there's this whole portion where like the nation I mentioned beforehand, the Commonwealth, which is made up of like the 5 smaller states, so to speak, speak, each one of them, their communities differ in size. So like 2 of them have really big communities where like 20, 30 people exist in them, but the other 2 have smaller ones where it's like 5, 6. And it's like, does their vote matter as much as the one that's larger? So they essentially establish an electoral college for that. Yeah. And it's like, holy fuck, like all of these systems are being made and they don't even realize they're doing it. They're doing it for the sake of surviving in this Minecraft world, which is fucking interesting. And that's just like 2. It's like a bunch of stuff that happens after that. But where it gets really fucking interesting is, keep in mind, there's 1,000 people on this Minecraft server. And there's like a couple of names that come out as like main characters, so to speak. But the 2 that you need to keep in mind are, and I kept their names down on my phone because they're kind of hard to remember. One of them is named Fluxion. I remember that. And the other one's name is, one second, is, come on, you got this, Bobby, is Saparata. There it is. So all you need to know is this Fluxion guy was the number 2 to this dude who ran a nation in Island 1. This guy's whole spiel, the number 1, was he wanted to build a bridge that connected both islands as like a peaceful gesture to allow people to travel both back and forth from the islands when it was time, right? His number 2, Fluxion, didn't like that idea and thought that they should stop that and instead prepare defenses, because he was kind of this guy who feared or had this overlying idea that Island 2 eventually was going to attack them and they needed to be ready. So there was this one part in the video, like a couple days in, where all of the leaders of the nations were meeting at the summit, like a meeting hall. And when you look at it, it's fucking crazy. It looks like the whole Parthenon and shit like that. Like the
UN, yeah.
So they sit down, but the thing is the guy who runs the nation that Fluxion is from wanted to stay and build the bridge. So he delegated his number 2 guy to fill in for him and sit at the summit. What he didn't know is that Fluxion secretly went to the summit and rigged the building so that during the meeting, stalactites fell from the top and killed like 4 major nation leaders at the same time in a domestic terrorist attack.
That is incredible.
And he managed to successfully pin it on Saparata, the guy who was from Island 1, the good guy who built the place and was housing everybody for the summit. So everyone is like, oh, fuck, it's this guy. We got to kill him. So they put off a massive bounty on him and Saparata goes into hiding. So it's like, holy shit. Like, what the fuck? After that happens, Fluxion goes into hiding. He has like a secret underwater base and he establishes like a group of followers that will follow him doing anything. This guy's like actually Makarov from MW3.
Wait, but didn't you say that they can see how everyone dies?
But it's stalactites. So it just says they were killed by stalactites. Nobody knows who set off the trap or anything like that. And that is the one thing. When you fall into lava, nobody knows. But if you kill somebody with a sword, they'll show it. So there are situations where people will like hire assassins to kill like a leader. And they're like, everyone in his chat is like, no, what the fuck do we do now? So long story short, Saparata goes into hiding, right? At one point, the border opens, and he successfully flees into Island 2.
Yeah, I was about to say, this whole time we haven't even mentioned fucking Island 2.
I'm getting to it
because I know, like, that's definitely like a Lord of the Flies situation. There's no one there's no resources.
So far there hasn't been any like coups or anything crazy like that in Island 2. Things have been going pretty fair. The 2 interesting things to note is at the bottom of the island is a nation called the Covenant, right? But their whole spiel is they're kind of like, not a cult, but they're like more Viking-esque. They don't really like agree with it. And their whole spiel is like, they're the fighters. Like they're all soldiers and shit like that. And they're actually inhabited by PvP Minecraft players. So they know how to like fight and shit like that. That being said, there's another nation at the top that was called Infernus. This nation decided to build their civilization on top of the volcano on the island, right? At first thought, you might think that that's a bad idea because the volcano could technically erupt and also it's a difficult place. But what they came to find out early on into the experience is Island 2 has a secret that Island 1 doesn't have. And that's that Island 2, specifically around the volcano area, has netherite, which is the strongest material in Minecraft. So that's kind of like the one takeaway from living on Island 2. But because of that, and because Infernus discovers it, they try to gatekeep it from the rest of the island. So when other people from the island discover it and want it, they have summits, and the woman who runs Infernus is like, nope, it's closed off. We can talk about trades and stuff like that, but you're not allowed to mine in Infernus and stuff. So that starts to form a bit of a tear or whatever. While all of this is happening, Saparata, the guy who was framed from Island 1, flees to Island 2, gets refuge in the Covenant, right? But then they Fluxion puts like a huge bounty on his head to the point where like everybody could claim a bounty if they kill him. So Saparatus, I kid you not, is being led away to safety by the leader of the Covenant.
Yes.
But as he's being led, he has this gut feeling that something's going on.
That he's leading him to his death.
And he just decides to dip. And the Covenant guy doesn't even notice. He's just like running ahead. But Saparatus is like, nope. And he leaves and goes the other way. This guy builds a monolith like in the mountain and is about to commit suicide in game. Literally, like he's like, I'm done. Nobody's going to believe me, whatever. And then he comes to the realization where he's like, if I'm going to die, he's going to die with me. So he's like, fuck it. I'm going to put all my chips on the table. He decides to actually talk to the leaders of the nation. And one of them gets evidence proof that it was Fluxion. So they're like, holy shit, like Saparatus was telling the truth. So now they have to go back to Island 1 and clear his name. All that to say, it turns into this whole fucking thing where at the end of this video, they finally go to war. Right?
About fucking time.
It's essentially everybody versus the nation of Infernus, which is above the volcano. But it's mainly because over time, all of the people that have started like these coups or these terrorist attacks, they flee to Infernus and they're like, we'll keep you safe here. We'll keep you refuge. So it gets to this point where like all the shitty people that people want dead are on top of the volcano. Like they have to go kill them. So they have small numbers, but they have, you know, the high ground and all the position, all that blah, blah. This shit ends in the most cinematic way. They finally get to the place where they're, you know, doing the battle. They find Fluxion, who's like the villain of this whole thing, the guy who started all this shit. They're about to kill him. He jumps off into a lava pool, but he eats like a golden apple, so he doesn't die. And he successfully escapes through a pre-dug tunnel that he had under the structure. The tunnel takes him to the Colosseum that was built on the island, and he privately messages Saparatus, and he's like, you, me, 1v1, we're going to finish this. Nice. Saparatus goes, and they legit have a 1v1 to finish it off, and Saparatus wins it for the entire island. It's like the hypest fucking thing, bro. Mildred was watching me like, what are you I'm like, I can't explain it. I've gotten involved. This is the coolest fucking thing I've seen in forever, and I do have to say that was one of the best YouTube videos I've ever seen in my life. It was fucking sick. Thoughts?
I mean, it's fucking sick. I mean, like you said, it is like this deeper like psychological experiment because people just accidentally do historical shit. Yeah. Like they're literally doing like Greek Empire shit, Roman Empire stuff.
It legit felt like you were watching a civilization like the entirety of
like
it.
That's like it's like, oh, the Covenant is leading this guy like, and he thinks he's being led to his death, so he dips. It's like that's like a king getting murdered type vibe. Like that's insane.
There's a guy who at the very start of it, like kind of jokingly, I forgot what his name is, but he's like, I am King Snowfee or some shit like that, and he's like, everybody's like, okay, but through the video he actually ends up getting a lot of people to follow him. He builds like a whole kingdom, and at the end of the video he's like the one really trustworthy king to the point where you're like, let's fucking go, King Snofty, you know what I mean? But it ended up being a really fucking cool experience. And it like you said, it's a really interesting just like dynamic when you see how it relates one-to-one with actual politics in the world, how these world leaders discuss things, how they have summits. Not to be super fucking dramatic about it, but how terrorist attacks happen and how some of them can be deemed like inside jobs and stuff like that. It's very interesting. So shout outs to I forgot what the actual title of the video is. I think it's called the 1000 Rich versus Poor Minecraft Experiment or something.
Shout out to Minecraft, man.
They're doing some to this day. They're doing some crazy shit.
It's gonna be like 2050, and there's gonna be like a TV show on Minecraft. Like it's gonna be some like machinima shit. Like it's gonna go deep.
Word. But that's my 2 cents with that. Also, real quick, I just wanted to see if I could find the because I want to see how many numbers this video has at this point. Let's see. It came out a month ago. It's already at 14 million views, and it's a 2.5 hour video of original. Oh, that was the other thing to mention. This video had a team of 80 plus people that worked on it. It's like 7 editors, like 15 map builders. I think the people involved in the actual application process to bring people in was like 30 plus people. So there was like a whole production team of people that brought this video to life, and it's fucking awesome. So yeah, shout outs.
Wild.
In my opinion, like, you know, you can watch the full video, but for you guys, I think if you were to check it out, definitely watch Ludwig's because it kind of surmises it. And it's also kind of funny to watch Ludwig's reaction to it just because there's actual parts where something will happen in game and out loud I'm like, that's just like an electoral college. And he's like, so they're just making the electoral college. Like, he steals the word out of my mouth. So it's like, okay, it's nice to know that I'm not just making this up. But yeah, fucking awesome video.
Cool. Minecraft.
My hands are off the steering wheel now. That's what this means.
Oh, okay. We're going straight into the guardrail.
Yep. Who's taking the wheel?
I'll take it. No. Hey.
Okay.
We hit like that side where it gets like bumpy, you know, the lines,
the little tiny alarm,
yeah.
ding 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 ding, and then you get back on track.
There's like upstate when you get the line.
No, I know, but the car it alerts you now. The new ones.
Bobby, we're in a 1992 minivan.
We're in a Corolla.
We're in an old minivan.
We're in an Astro van.
Yeah, like the door is supposed to be automatic.
Country,
the door is supposed to be automatic, but it's not.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I had a fun experience today. And by that, I mean one of the worst experiences of my life. So, basically, I am in the process of becoming a substitute teacher for New York. And the process is very silly. So, essentially, after being nominated or learning out that you got nominated, basically, you were supposed to get an email 3 days after to attend a Zoom event, which then you get processed and, like, you know, you give them your, you know, all your stuff, and then they tell you what to do next, right? I have been trying to get onto the Zoom for like 3 days, and every time I go on, it just doesn't start. And I read it, and basically one of them just never started, and then the second one had the wrong start time listed. So everyone just showed up late, and it just wasn't there, right? But today, on 2 hours of sleep, I did go to this Zoom call, and I must say, if any of your children are in the New York City school system, you might have a pretty rough time. Yeah. To put it in perspective, me, someone with a business degree and no teaching experience, is one of the best options you got. There's some people, right, they got like a master's in teaching, right? You got some people, I was a para for 12 years. You know, you got a few people that, you know, they've been in the school system. And then you got some other people, I don't know.
It's kind of crazy that 3 of the 4 of us are about to be teachers.
Yeah.
This is fucking
so let me explain to you this thing. So basically, everyone, you have to sign on to the Zoom call, which essentially has no impact on your application at all. They basically, it's like the orientation, right? But they basically just explain all of the shit you already know. First thing, the Zoom starts, and everyone who joins is joining like their life depends on it. Like, I understand we're out of work, we want to work or whatever, but this is like a part-time teaching thing. You don't gotta be sweating it out, right? People are joining the Zoom call, and they're like, "Hi, my name is," and they're like, every person that joins is just like, and I don't want to be it. But they are not white. They are ethnically from a different country, or, you know, speaking. And so every time they're just like, "Hello, it's me," and the woman's like, "Okay, we haven't started yet." like literally, she's like, and then people start like writing their names and like their like phone numbers in the chat. She's like, "I didn't tell you guys to do anything yet. Like, can you wait till you start?" Like, she was like getting so pissed. But yeah, we just literally had to go through a fucking PowerPoint, and people were having trouble. Like, literally, people were like, they say in big letters, like, your fingerprints only last 10 years. If it's older than 10 years, you got to go get fingerprinted again. Even if you have fingerprints, you got to change the code on it so it gets sent to the Board of Ed, right? And people were like, can I use it? I got it done in 2008. And it's like, can you not do fucking math if it's more than 10 years?
You're about to be a substitute teacher.
Oh, man.
And it's like, and she even mentions this thing, which is like, again, going back to what I said, she even says, normally there is a test segment we do where you go to like a second page and everyone has to take an assessment to prove that you could teach English at a middle school level. I can tell you that a lot of these people, just based on the way they type, are gonna have some fucking trouble. And I don't want to be mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I can guarantee you that there's gonna be some people that they're gonna get, like, because basically there's like a whole process I'm finding out, and basically any school, even the school that nominated you, can put you on the do not call list, essentially.
Gotcha.
Which is like, do not use, it's called. And that could happen just for you, like, being late, they just don't like you, right? It's like they could just put you on that list. And I feel like a lot of people who just like aren't from this country are going to be put on that, and I feel kind of bad. But at the same time, like, they said it several times, they're like, you're gonna have to be able to communicate, you know. But yeah, they really got to work on their processes. But, you know,
cool.
I'll find out what.
Is it like older people?
Yeah, it's a lot of older people.
I can imagine.
It's a lot of. It's a lot of
the tech difficulty.
Yeah, it's a lot of. It's a lot of older people. like I said, a lot of immigrants, a lot of people, even if they, been here, they still have the accent right. But again, a lot of people that are like have taught before, a lot of people that like have, like I said, a bunch of people who are like, yeah, I filled out the application before, like, they've done it before. But yeah, we'll see. Can't wait to update on this.
Fire.
Marianti made fun of me because they said that like, I wanted to like, coach the basketball team, or get involved in the sports. And she was just roasting me nonstop about it. And I want to
coach Dylan, bro.
I want to prove. I have like I have a what's the word, like a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah, you gotta prove her wrong.
I gotta prove her wrong.
Yeah,
because she's like, what are you gonna teach these kids? And I was like, what do you know about a fucking ISO, right? What do you know about a pick and roll? What do you know about the 3-4? What do you know about zone defense? You don't know any of this shit, right?
I do. She was like, I'm sorry.
I do. Again, I don't know what I'm. Again,
and then she dunked on you.
Yeah.
She put you in your place.
All 5'1" of my fiance just
windmilled under the legs. Yeah, she just fucking.
The visual of that is so fucking funny.
She's sticking her tongue out like Michael Jordan.
But yeah, again, it was like just the most like fun process to go through, just sitting in the Zoom, and you had to keep the camera on, so I was sitting there like crying, laughing, and then the people were like, so there's nothing we can do now, and she's just like, yeah, all this stuff you have to wait until you're actually nominated. You find out at the end of the month, and then you could actually do the shit, because people were like clicking on the links and like the links don't work, and I'm like, yeah, they're just giving it to you, homie. Like,
yeah,
but yeah.
Cool. Well, best of luck to you, Mr. Diaz.
Yes. Hopefully a charter school gets to me first and pay for my master's degree, but we'll get there when we get there.
Fire.
Yeah.
Bro, speaking of school, it's a fun school. I've been watching a show. I've been watching a web series. A little show called Video Game High School. Dylan, what do you know about Video Game High School? Because I know for a fact you haven't watched it.
It's like, what's his name? Freddie Wong?
It is Freddie Wong.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of other Freddie Wong content, but I have not watched Video Game High School.
And that's fair. It's a niche one.
I want to say I watched it, but to be fair, I didn't give it a fair shot ever. I think I did watch like half an episode, or something, and I was like, I had to really watch it from the beginning. I feel like if I watched it from the beginning, maybe I would have been like into it. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I think just something kind of crept up on me, and I was like, oh, that's a show I haven't watched in a fucking long ass time. And it's like 3 seasons. Seasons 2 and 3 have 6 episodes each. So it's like cut through it. I think in total it's what, 12 plus 9. Oh, rather 12 plus 9. So it's 21 episodes. You could knock it out real quick. So yeah. The whole spiel is it's about a kid that goes to a video game high school, if you could believe it or not. But I think what's important to note about this is in rewatching the show, there's a lot of like little like information points or like little jokes that kind of I didn't really fully understand. So there's a pretty interesting thing that happens in the first episode of the show. You remember the first episode where he kills the Law on TV in the pub match or whatever? So the Law is the villain of the show. He's like a pro esports gamer or whatever. Oh. He goes on a television show to show off his skills in a public lobby. I might have seen it.
This is like giving me some images.
And the main character ends up killing him in like this cool way, and it kind of like makes the Law look bad, and it ends up getting Brian D a scholarship to go to Video Game High School, right? All that to say, after that happens, it kind of becomes like big news. Like everybody starts talking about it, but there's actually a part in the first episode where it cuts to a news program where an anchor is saying like breaking news about how the president has been captured. He's been taken kidnapped or whatever. And then it literally gets cut off with breaking news about Brian D killing the Law. So in this universe, video games are like the most important thing in the world. Like politics, sports, entertainment, nothing comes close to video games. Like if you play video games, you're like the Michael Jackson of this world. That's essentially how it works. So that was just like a funny detail in it. But what I love about the show is like how far it progresses, because first and foremost, the show is a Kickstarter funded show. Right. So like I think they got a budget of like almost $2 million to make it. And when you watch the first season, it definitely shows, right? It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's far from the best thing either. But then when season 2 comes around and they get like full funding and they get to use like the YouTube sound stages, it looks like a full-on TV show. The way I described it to Mildred and the way I showed it to her, because you see the visual changes, is the first one gives like real indie, right? Like looks like a YouTube show. The second one looks like an ABC Family kind of like, you know what I mean, sitcom or like show. That
I know what you mean.
That's like the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
And then the third one straight up looks like Breaking Bad. Like the lighting is super good. It's like HBO style shit. This guy comes on as a featuring role. Freddie from iCarly, Nathan Kress. He's like a recurring character that season. And that, not only that, like the show has a shit ton of celebrities that have been in it too. So it's like, it's this weird thing where I remember Video Game High School as being like this nerdy thing that nobody watched. Mm-hmm. But then I go back and I watch it and I'm like, fucking Zachary Levi was the teacher. Fucking Stan Lee was this guy. Fucking Joel McHale was the president the whole time. Like Tony Hawk was it. Like all these people. I'm like, holy shit, this was like a legitimate show.
It's almost like the first season was the pilot.
Kinda, yeah.
And then the second and third was like the actual.
The way I look at it is like, I feel like especially with web series, since they're usually like privately funded, you know, in TV, let alone, it's hard to know if you're going to get picked up for another season or another 2 seasons, right? So I feel like when you're writing for a web series, it's kind of like that miniseries mentality where it's like, we need to write this to be final in case, like if we don't get to do a season 2, let's leave it on a good note. Let's not leave it on cliffhangers and stuff. And for the most part, that kind of feels what they do. But regardless, like what I'm trying to get at is it feels like I'm watching movies sometimes, like not necessarily shows. Right. It's like each season is its own individual movie that's segmented into different parts. But either way, I think it's a fantastic show considering the fact that it was a YouTube web series. And I mean, to give it some credit, at one point it was even on Netflix. Like it was all 3 seasons were on Netflix, which for a time for a point in time rather. But I finished season 1. I'm still like midway through season 2 with Mildred. Granted, I was watching it on my own a little while ago. I think she gave season 1 an 8, which I was happy about, considering I think the show gets much better as it continues. But I would highly recommend it. It's just weird to say it because like kind of in the same vein of how Joey was talking about K-pop Demon Hunters, right? Mm-hmm. It's like you bring up a show like Video Game High School, and it's like really like that's the name of the show, and you can't even argue it. It's like that's what the show's about. But it's good. Like the characters are well written. It's really, really funny. The pacing is well done. And that's the last thing I'll mention. I kind of talked about visual effects on the last episode, but considering that is Freddie Wong's specialty and all of those YouTube filmmakers, the heavy action scenes do feel like they're one up from all the other like dialogue scenes. It's like you could watch 2 characters have a conversation with each other, but then when you watch the action scene, it feels like they put that much more money into it. And it's not necessarily because they did. It's because all of those people, like, that's their specialty. Yeah, like, that's what they were doing on YouTube already. Yeah. Doing muzzle flashes and explosions and shit. But shout outs.
It's a throwback.
It is a throwback.
I mean, I think like, I don't think I ever heard like a criticism of the show that like it looked bad or the effects were bad or anything. I just remember people being into it and some people not being into it.
Like if that show came out on TV, for sure, people would be up in arms. They'd be like, they got away with this, but it was a YouTube show that was crowdfunded and it came out amazingly for it. There was even a point in the I think it was in the pandemic where a couple of streamers actually got the okay from Freddie himself to like watch it on Twitch with their chats. So like people who had never seen it before could watch it for the first time with Ludwig or Schlatt and stuff like that.
And all them,
which is pretty cool. But there's one more thing I did want to mention. I forgot what it might have been. But either way, the last thing I'll say is the show's actually hilarious. Like the show's really, really funny. It has moments that are like, there's jokes that are funny. There's visual gags that are funny. There's a lot of like parallels that they make to video games into like the in-game world that are really funny too. So, and that was the other thing I was going to say. By the end of the series, like side characters that you followed since season 1 that you would have never thought would have been important by season 3 end up having like their own whole episode arcs where you learn backstories and shit. It's like they did a lot with a show that only lasted for 21 episodes. It's pretty fucking impressive. Yeah. Not only that, the episodes in season 1 are all like 10 to 20 minutes long, so they're not even like full-fledged TV episodes, so to speak.
And you can knock this out real quick.
Yeah. The thing is like the first season's episodes, I think the shortest is like 8 minutes and the longest is like close to 20. And then season 2 and season 3, they kind of go with a more traditional, consistent approach where season 2's episodes are like 20 minutes each, 22-ish, and then season 3's are like 45. They kind of have like that HBO money. You know what I mean? You go from watching My Wife and Kids to Lost, I guess. Could have probably picked two different shows there, but
yeah,
those are the ones that came to mind. But yeah, shout outs. I have another thing I talk about, but
go for it. I mean, I had a pretty fucking boring week. I'm not gonna lie.
Just really it's a quick, cool one too, because also on the vein of not only YouTube, but Freddie Wong and the YouTube creator Sphere. If you remember back in the day, Freddie and his partner Brandon, who were the operators of Freddie W, used to work in a warehouse in California that they shared with a fellow YouTube group called Corridor Digital. Mm-hmm. Two guys, Sam and Nico. And in an interesting turn of events, Sam and Nico's channel is probably like a lot more successful now. Like they're one of the best YouTube channels on YouTube. And it's not necessarily because of like the videos that they make with their intense visual effects and stuff like that. It's more so because over the years, Corridor has made more variety content, specifically in the vein of like movie magic and visual effects. So one of their more popular shows, I actually think I mentioned it recently, was the Visual Effects Artists React. Yeah. And I watched it recently because they had on Tim Miller, who's a famous film director. He was the director for Deadpool 1. Reason I'm bringing it up is because I learned some pretty interesting stuff. I found out that Tim Miller actually owns a studio called Blur Studios, and they specialize in making video game cinematics. And apparently they've been doing it for like 20 years. They've been around since like 2004. And when they showed like a reel of some of them, like they've done cinematics for Arkham and like Halo and like big time games.
Like mocap stuff or everything?
Yeah, it's like they do the cinematics that look like they're not in game.
Yeah.
Like the nice ones, you know?
Yeah, like I still remember like one of the most like iconic ones of that was like, I don't know, I think it was Battlefield 3. Like it was one of the Battlefield games, and like the cinematic was like fucking like crazy.
Yeah. So that's kind of his specialty, and they were talking about that new anthology show that came out last year, Secret Level, with all the video game episodes and stuff. So they were talking about a few of those episodes, some of his insight into how they created them, but the one I wanted to bring up was actually the first one, which was the Warhammer episode that they did. Mm-hmm. And I found out two really interesting pieces of information. One I already knew because Jose had told me, since he's the Warhammer fanboy, is that there's a guy, I forgot his name, I'll put it here on the screen, who actually by himself made a number of really, really popular Warhammer shorts on YouTube. So good that Tim Miller saw them from Blur Studios and hired him to work on like the pre-visualization for that Warhammer short.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I found out that they were actually contracted to make a Warhammer short in 2004. And they did it in like 3.5 weeks. And it's funny because when you watch that one, it looks like 2004 CGI, but at the time it was like incredible. And then you see how far they've come in 20 years to make another Warhammer video that looks like cinematic as fuck. It's awesome. Also, is that camera still on?
No.
That one's not on?
No.
This one's on.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get to that in a second. I'll just be here.
Should I just press record again?
Try it. Yeah, it might be a card limit thing.
Because I definitely press record.
No, I know you press record. I just think it's that the cards run out of space. Yeah, it's run out of space. All right, I'm going to talk to this camera now because I'm too tired to do this. Point is, all that to say that... This is weird. I have to look at this camera. All that to say that they've come a long way. And the last thing I'll mention is actually when I teach my students at school about pre-visualization, which is essentially like storyboarding and shot listing films, I always bring up Deadpool, because when Tim Miller wanted to make Deadpool, and more specifically when Ryan Reynolds wanted to do it, they actually used Tim Miller's Blur Studios to make the pre-visualization to show like when they were pitching it. Mm-hmm. So they actually like used mocap to film the opening scene of Deadpool on the highway where he like jumps into the car and kills all the people. Mm-hmm. There's like, I show it to my students all the time. There's like a version of that exists that looks like a crappy video game rendering of it, but it's like a really cool way for them to show what the scene was going to look like before they actually filmed anything or did any expensive effects. But it's all because Tim Miller's specialty was working on these video game cinematics that they can make it look like that in the first place.
Right, kind of like a prototype.
Exactly. So yeah, shout outs. Just wanted to share that because I thought it was cool.
That's pretty cool.
And then last thing I'll mention before we move it on, because I know the camera died already. Fucking
I like how this became the shorter episode.
Right? Yeah. It kind of ended up being a weird weekend of video game announcements. So Gamescom happened. You were kind of out of the loop for a lot of that, but They did like 2 back-to-back announcement shows. Granted, the Future Games show was a lot worse than the opening night live with Jeff. What's his name? Jeff Keighley is his name?
Yeah, Jeff Keighley.
So long story short, they announced a lot of cool games. I wanted to just pick your brains about ones you guys may have seen and been like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, I saw one that I liked. What was it called?
I saw one that Dylan might be addicted.
I didn't see anything about it.
There was one I saw that Dylan might be addicted to. It was a supermarket simulator. And
I didn't get to see that one.
Okay, because it was like a lot of those exist and they're all really bad.
No, it was like Stardew Valley. Like 2D pixel art, like you run the supermarket and then you also go get the ingredients, like you farm the shit and sell the produce.
Okay. So
I forgot what it was called, but I will look it up and I'll show you.
It might be made by the people who made that one game. I forget the fucking name. The one where you run the shop, but Moonlighter.
There was a game called Metal Eden that looked fun. It was kind of like a sci-fi FPS. It gave me like Borderlands vibes.
Gotcha.
But it was like more fast-paced. Yeah, less story, more just shooting stuff.
Moonlighter, is that the one that kind of looks like Tunic, where it's like they're making a second one that was also announced as well. Yeah.
So again, that's
interesting. Honestly speaking, I think the one that got me the most excited, weirdly enough, was probably a new Lego Batman game. We're getting Lego Batman, the Legacy Collection or something like that. But it looks badass. It like uses elements from the Arkham games. It has like they developed a combat system that's unique to the game, because if you played the old Lego games, it's literally just mash square until things die, but this one is actually like timing based with counters and stuff. And the actual like storyline of the game is not tied to any one movie or property. It's like essentially a melding of all of the popular movies, games, and shows to make one concurrent like storyline. So his origins are going to be from like Batman Begins. But then we're also going to see the same Batman go through the stuff that happened in The Batman with Robert Pattinson, because they showed it in the trailer. And then eventually he'll get to The Dark Knight Rises, and then he does some Arkham game stuff. So it's kind of just like this cool like Batman game. And then on top of that, all the Lego games have a sandbox level too. So they're doing Gotham, but the way it looks is it's going to play a lot like the Arkham games, where you can grapple up to rooftops and glide over shit. So for a Lego game, I'm excited. So I'm pretty hype, I can't lie. And also they finally announced the Silk Song, the long-awaited sequel to Hollow Knight, coming out September 4th. So
that's like
playing the hell out of that too.
Literally in a couple.
Yeah.
Damn.
So they showed some cool stuff. I'm also not gonna lie. I hate to say this, but what? Black Ops 7 looks good. Maybe good isn't the word, but I want to play it.
I feel like that's every Call of Duty. Like every year I shit on Call of Duty, and then half the time I end up playing it.
When they were talking about it, they said that this Call of Duty Black Ops 7 takes place 10 years after Black Ops 2. So that's like where the storyline fits into the campaign and yada yada yada.
Okay, fuck.
But the gameplay
more of a bad right. Go back to talking about fucking Lego Batman.
The gameplay feels reminiscent of Black Ops 2.
Okay.
So it's like it's they have like wall jumps and stuff, but not necessarily like the jetpacks. The guns look similar. They even bring back some Black Ops 2 maps, like the ship one, the cruise one, and the
okay, I saw that.
Raid is coming back. So it's kind of like, you remember when Modern Warfare 3 came out, the new one that it was trying to emulate Modern Warfare 2? It's kind of what they're doing now, but with Black Ops 2. And Black Ops 2 is hype, so that's why I want to play
Black Ops. And this is weird. I feel like Black Ops 1 and 2 were the games I was actually really good at. Black Ops 1 and 2 I fucking cooked, those games, bro.
Yeah.
Those games were fun.
And then on the zombie side of things, they announced that while you're still playing as like the new group, the old group with Rick Toffin and Nikolai are present. Like they're going to be supporting characters in, and they even teased like they could possibly be playable at some point in the future. So I mean, maybe. To be fair, they also didn't talk too much about multiplayer. I think that they said that they're going to leave that for a little bit more to show some more stuff, but people did speculate that they were going to bring Blackout back, but they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't say it.
I need to see.
I don't know if they're holding it. I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, I feel like they're just gonna reskin Warzone, and call it Blackout. But we will see.
That's what I want to see what the difference is.
We will see.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't know, like, it's not to go on a tangent, but it's kind of annoying to play a BR and then someone has their exact loadout.
Yeah, that always takes me out of it. It's like
you have a camo silenced sniper. What do we do?
The whole spiel should be you land and you make the best of your loadout. Right? And if you kill people, you get more stuff, right? What's the fun in you just like acquiring a certain amount of cash in game and then getting everything you want? It's like
if you want, have a random supply drop, but that's it. I'm even a fan of vehicles. I love vehicles, but
right.
All right. One camera's dead already. Let's get the fuck out of here before we lose space on another one. How's that? Let's do another jam week, right? It's weird doing 2 back to back.
This is tough.
I prepared for this though. And I already know what my jam of the week is gonna be because my jam of the week is actually related to Video Game High School. So shout outs to Light Up the Night by the Protomen, rock group that made a couple of not original songs for Video Game High School, but allowed Freddie Wong and the group to use them for Video Game High School. And they're very good. Shout out to the ice cream truck that's here.
I'm gonna pick another song off of Freddie Gibbs' album Alfredo 2, and it's the Anderson Paak feature. Anderson Paak.
Oh yeah,
he's a good feature artist.
He is a good feature artist.
It's Ensalada.
Man, homie's 30% teeth.
He is. 30% teeth, 20% drums.
I didn't really have a song. I didn't have a second one.
Pick a song.
I'm gonna fucking scroll. Okay, let's do it. Heavily Medicated by Suicide Boys.
Lit.
It's like double pitch shifted low, so it's like really slow. But it's literally from like one of their first albums, so it's like you know what they're rapping about.
Got you. Fire. Yeah. Thanks for watching the Joystick Show. Sorry, there's only 2 angles, but it's gonna make it a lot easier for me to edit. That's fun.
Sure.
Episode 253 in the books. Stay tuned for 254 or 255, which we filmed before, which is actually really cool. I think we messed all of this up. I think we intended for this one to be like the good one, and then the one before to be like, we'll just shit it out.
Who knows when you have a segment and have fun that that would happen.
And keep in mind, I got like 4 segments lined up, so we're gonna be doing a lot.
I mean,
more
honestly,
anyway.
if we could just do like trivia drafts and like I said, like
I've been putting more of a focus
wavelength, Jeopardy. Like if we could just do that, I feel like
we've never done a wavelength, and I want to do one of those.
Wavelength
really
is fun. I just feel like Joey would get confused.
He would not understand it, but that's
he would get it eventually. Yeah, we would have to explain it. Like think of a review.
Yeah. Think of it. But thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Stay tuned for a lot more fun stuff from the Joystick Gang coming to you soon. And they can't see what you're doing, Dylan, because the camera's off.
Exactly.
Dylan, I just realized this will be the last time we film a podcast for a while, but or rather, not technically true because we have to do one more. But this will be the last time we're all in a group setting, I guess.
Literally, it'll be only 1 extra week you won't see me.
Yeah, but I'll work through it. It's gonna be hard, I have my girlfriend. She helps. But thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Like this episode. Subscribe to Team Joystick. And go watch what people are calling the greatest YouTube video ever made. Episode 252 of The Joystick Show. Last week with Joey and his fluffy cat. All right. Guys, fucking 3-way high five. Let's get out of here. Bam.